Varidantam, Namo Vidam, Namo Vayiriyam, Namo Vijayam, Namo Trivavati Savanam, Omkara Mindu Sanyam Jayanti Yogina, Kamadam Okshadam Chayumkarai Namo, Manganam Bhagavanayo, Manganam Uttamudi, Manganam Kunkundari, Vijendra Musu, Manganam Namasana.
Om Namo Loye Sarvatrika Varti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrika Varti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrika Varti Airyanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrika Varti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrika Varti Saunam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityan Dhyayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namo Samaysaraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chitsabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandhanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayavantavarto Omkaranada Jinano Jayavantavarto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayavantavarto Netirthachara Jagama Jayavantavarto Namo Etirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarhotene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho Upakara Jinavarano Kundano Dani Divyano Jina Kunda Dvaniyapya Aho Te Guru Kanano Aho Te Bhagavati Matano Dhruva Achalane Anupamagati Pamel Sarve Siddhane Vandi Kaho Sutta Kevali Vasita Asamaya Prabhrata Are Ho Eka Suddha Sada Arupi Jnana Darshanamay Kare Kai Anyate Maru Jari Paramahu Matra Nati Are Jamanetrate Majjnanati Karakanati Vedakare Jani Jakaramudaya Nirajana Bandate Majamokshane Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Sri Suddhatmane Namaha. Jai Jinendra. Today is January 11, 2017, Wednesday, and we are continuing our discussion on Samaysar, and especially we are on stanza number 11. And as we said before also, stanza number 11 is extreme important thing, and that's why we are going at kind of little slower pace, because this stanza, Gurudev has said several times that this is the heart of the Samaysar. I mean, when we are talking heart of Samaysar, naturally, it has to be extremely important. And so we would like to go taking our own time to make sure that all the nitty-gritty things that we understand is understood right way, and there is no if and or buts about this understanding. So here we are, and we'll go to the slides, and I think Preeti has raised some question about one of the previous slides, so we'll go through that slide first, and then we'll start the rest of the things. Where is that slide? Okay. This was your question about this slide, in which it says stanza 11 and stanza 142. Remember, several places in Samaysar, not only in Samaysar, but any scripture, the point of view is important. From which point of view Acharya Bhagavan wants to talk to us? We have to have pretty good understanding. If we understand that Acharya Bhagavan is talking from certain point of view, from absolute point of view, from organ of knowledge point of view, from conventional point of view, we have to have that feeling occur within us when we are reading this stanza. So in 11th stanza, what it said, that the mode, the knowledge mode, the knowledge attribute is giving knowledge mode. This knowledge mode has two functions: to know the alien objects of the universe and to know the self. This knowledge mode, every knowledge mode has this capacity of self and alien knowing capacity. Self and alien knowing capacity. So because of this self and alien knowing capacity, now we have directed our attention to the eternal soul substance. So here we are making self-knowing capacity as a primary thing. We are giving importance to that point. We are making alien knowing capacity as secondary in this stanza right now, in this slide also. So in 11, it says the mode which knows the soul substance. When it knows the soul substance means self, it also knows the alien object, but we made alien object secondary right now. So we are not talking about alien object right now, but we have to have understanding that alien object is also getting known by this knowledge mode. So knowledge mode, which knows the soul substance, eternal soul substance, and the soul substance by itself. The knowledge mode, knowing the soul substance, that's a one thing. Knowledge mode is knowing, and this soul substance by itself, they both are considered to be one in this stanza. The knowledge mode which knows the eternal soul substance, number one, that's an action going on here, and this is the eternal soul substance. They both are considered as one unit over here. So that is called pure point of view. That's called Swadhay, pure point of view. What is pure point of view? The knowledge mode, the knowledge mode which knows the soul substance and the eternal soul substance by itself, they both are together considered as pure point of view. While in 142 stanza, Acharya Amritchandra Acharya Dev is very strict, and he says, you know what? I don't want to fool around. I want to have exactly something which I'm talking. You better listen. That's what he tells us. What he says, even the reflective thought about the eternal nature of the self is considered as hindrance. I'm the pure, perfect soul. I'm the eternal soul. I'm the all-knower soul. That kind of reflective thoughts, those reflective thoughts are hindrance in experiencing of the soul substance. So, what Acharya Bhagavan says there, the eternal nature of the self is considered as hindrance in actual experience of the eternal true self. So, one must understand what perspective is used in given stanza. In this stanza 11, the knowledge mode which knows the knowing function and eternal soul substance are considered as a pure point of view. While in 142 it says, even the reflective thoughts that we have about the eternal soul substance, they are also hindrance in my experiencing of the eternal soul substance. So these they're entirely different. The different perspective is used. That even the reflective thoughts are considered as hindrance. Over here, knowing mode and eternal soul substance together is a pure point of view. So those are the differences, and those are the kind of differences that Acharya Bhagavan says that we have to keep in our mind. Having said that, now we are going to come to our point which we had done last week. Here, this picture is very familiar to us. Yeah, this picture is very familiar because number one, asadbhut means impure. No, this one we already have done. No, I done not done that. Okay, this one. Vyavahana means conventional point of view. It's divided into two. Sadbhut means pure synthetic, and pure synthetic is divided into two. Anupcharit means literal, and upcharit means symbolic. Asadbhut means impure synthetic, again divided into two. Anupcharit means literal and upcharit means symbolic. We know this picture very well. We know this very well. So keeping this one in mind, now we are saying that Nai and what happens in the Nai. What happens in this Nai. So here, Upcharit Asadbhut Vyavar Nai means conventional point of view with figurative point of view expressing unity of distinct entity. Upcharit Asadbhut Vyavar Nai. Again, what is the Upcharit Asad? Upcharit Asadbhut Vyavar Nai. Symbolic, impure synthetic, conventional point of view. So in that one, what happens? House is mine, money is mine, family are mine. That kind of mindness, that kind of ownership, when I put it on those events, those outside material objects, then it is called Upcharit Asadbhut Vyavarne. Then comes the next thing. Anupcharit Asadbhut Vyavarne. Asadbhut means impure synthetic, and a conventional point of view with literal point of view expressing unity of different substances. Here we just said body and senses belong to me because body and the soul occupy same space point. They are extremely close to each other, so they are Anupcharit Asadbhut Vyavarne. Then comes Upcharit Sadbhut Vyavarne. Means conventional point of view showing metaphorical expression of synthetic, pure, true point of view expressing difference between impure mode and virtuous one. Here, because it's upcharit, it's a synthetic, it's a metaphorical, so it makes expressing difference between impure mode and virtuous one. Virtuous one means an eternal soul substance, and impure mode means inclination of attachment, inclination of aversion, rag and dvesh. So rag and dvesh are impure mode which can be taken out from me, taken away from me. That's why they are called upcharit. And so over here we are going to put inclination of attachment belongs to me. I take the ownership of this inclination of attachment. I take ownership of the anger, deceit, ego, and greed. So that is an upcharit sadbhut vyavarne. And last one that we learn, anupcharit sadbhut vyavarne means conventional point of view with literal point of view, showing expressing difference between pure virtue and virtuous one. Over here was an impure, over here pure virtue. So what happens? Knowledge is me, perception is me, conduct is me, eternal existence attribute is me, bliss mode occurring is within me. So those kind of things that we do is called Anupcharit Sadbhut Vyavarne. We know this part very, very well. The reason I bring again and again, because now what we talk today is going to be somewhat deeper and not deeper, and the thing which we have not talked so far. So here, next slide, we are going to go through it. Sorry. So again, this one we have reviewed the slide last week. Same thing: soul substance, knowledge attribute, and knowledge mode. This is the one entity in the soul. This is the boundary of the soul. All the actions are occurring in this boundary. What is happening in this boundary? That this mode, knowledge mode, creates the mode of its own of different things. So this mode right now decided that I would like to have in my mode to have peacock created. This thing happened in the soul's sphere only. Peacock has not entered here. Suppose this knowledge mode is a mirror, then peacock has not entered in the mirror. Peacock has not entered in this knowledge mode. It is this image is created by knowledge mode itself. For example, there is a moonless night is there. There are infinite stars are in the sky, and you are standing on the bank of a pond. This pond is very quiet. What do you see in the pond? You see millions of stars, the reflection. Now tell me, did this reflection of the stars in the water occur because of water's property or because of the stars in the sky? Stars are in the sky. Water is quiet. Moonless night. And I see millions of images or millions of illumination of those stars in the water. Did the illumination occur in the water because of water or because of the stars in the sky? If we say because of stars in the sky, then why there is no illumination on the ground that I'm standing on it? Why there is illumination occur only in the water? Because water has a capacity to do that. Now, when I just see, I'm a small kid, I know nothing about it. I just saw millions of stars in the water. And I said, I would like to have those stars. I would like to catch those stars. So I dive into the water. What do I get when I dive into the water? Do I get those stars? No. What do I feel? I feel the coolness of water only. That's a water's nature is to be cool, and that's what I'm perceiving. I don't see the stars. Similarly, when this soul substance is there, this unit of soul substance is sitting over here, and I see the peacock inside, and I dive into the soul. And I said, I would like to find it out. Where is the peacock? Where is the peacock? Where is the peacock? What I feel is just bliss and peace and knowledge, experiencing of the soul only. There is no peacock or anything else. So this mode has a capacity to illuminate. It is a soul substance, is its own capacity to do that. At that time, as an instrumental cause, in outside, a peacock is present. But this peacock is instrumental cause. Remember our definition of instrumental cause. When an act is getting done principally in something, at that time, favorable associated things present is called instrumental cause. This instrumental cause is present but does not take part in the reaction of this soul substance to have this illumination. This peacock is only called to be instrumental cause when the action in the principal cause occurs in the form of a illumination. If there is no illumination, let's say there's a wall over here. There's a wall over here, and peacock is standing in front of the wall. Peacock is not an instrumental cause because there is no action occurred in the wall. I'm not seeing illumination of the peacock in the wall. That's why peacock is not even called instrumental cause. Only when principal action occurs in the knowledge mode, then only this peacock is called instrumental cause. So this is extreme important definition we have to understand, because if we don't understand this instrumental cause definition, then it's going to create lots of confusion in our mind as we progress. Now, instead of peacock, now I'm going to put inclusive of attachment. I brought inclusive of attachment, rag. Rag is also an object. Rag occurs within me. I'm the soul substance. Rag is occurred in me, but again, it is considered as separate from me when I'm considered from the eternal soul substance perspective. So even though it is occurring within me, it is called separate from me. The same way the abscess on my hand, it occurred to me, abscess is with me. In my body, abscess is there. But it needs to be taken out, thrown out, to be discarded, to be removed, to be operated upon. So it's not mine. It is not, even though it's occurring within me because of my altered physical status. But this thing is not my real nature. Throw it out. Throw it out. It's not me. It doesn't belong to me. Same way, increase of attachment. Rag occurs within me, but it is transient and it is not to be kept, and so it's to be thrown out, and so it is called object. So if peacock was an object, has an illumination occurred in the knowledge mode. Same way, the rag is a object, and rag also has illumination occurred in the knowledge mode. So now here we are making two distinctions, two absolute distinctions we are making. We are making one unit of the soul in which action is occurring in the mode. And while that action is occurring in the mode, we have the objects present as an instrumental cause outside. Peacock is outside. And rag is also outside. Hold it. Rag is also outside, even though it belongs to me. Yeah, go ahead.
So in the same way that in IOA and peacock is object outside,
yes,
are senses also outside?
What is it?
Like touch, smell, taste.
Yeah, they're outside too.
They're also outside. So it also should be outside, correct? So that is not part of your body. In the pure soul, all the things, all your senses, all your inclinations, all the knowledge is outside, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Touch, taste, smell, seeing, hearing, and all those things, they are the modes of the matter.
Okay.
And here we are talking conscious element. This is a conscious element over here. And these guys are acting as an object, and they are acting as an instrumental cause. Only the difference between peacock and rag, peacock is already outside, we can see that, but rag, even though occurs within me, but it's my altered state, and it is not my real nature, and so it is considered as an object, even though it's occurring within me. So what happens right now? I am the soul substance. I have my knowledge attribute, or I have my knowledge mode right now. And that is my sphere of action. This red circle is my sphere of action right now. And the rag, even though occurs and occupies same space point in my soul, but it's an altered state. It needs to be thrown out, and so it is considered as an object. Now, I'll give you an example. There's a dog. Dog took the bone and started chewing the bone. And the sharp edges of the bone went into the palate, and the blood came out, and he is tasting the blood. What does a dog say? Dog say, this taste is coming from the bone. Even though he's tasting his own blood, he's saying that this taste is coming from the bone. Similarly, in a rag is like a bone. And when I'm tasting my own knowledge mode, I'm experiencing my own knowledge mode. I'm experiencing the blood, my own blood. What I believe in a wrong way, that the sweetness is coming from the bone. The experiencing occurring within my knowledge mode is coming from rag. Right? Your rag is a separate object. It's a bone. It's not you. So that type of thing, even though rag occurs within me in the same space point as the soul, but it is entirely separate, just like the bone in the mouth of the dog. Having said that, now we are going to go some different, but we are going to change our discussion to somewhat microscopic level. So now Vyavarnai, conventional point of view. Remember, in Samaysar, when Acharya Bhagavan talks, he does not go out of the boundary of the soul. He remains into the boundary of the soul only, and then he discusses. He does not consider anything else outside the soul as belonging to soul. Remember, this phone is mine. This computer is mine. This sweater is mine. This house is mine. The glass. Acharya Bhagavan says, wait a second, they are matter. We know matter is not me. So forget about those things. I'm talking, my boundary, my sphere of action is limited to the soul only. And so now I have to put all this conventional point of view, Vyavarne, only considering the boundary of the soul only. Previously I was saying house is mine, car is mine, family is mine, body is mine. All those things are separate, not to be considered at all. So now, while I'm within my boundary of the soul, how do I put Vyavarne? That is 11th stanza talks about. So, inclination of attachment. Where does inclination of attachment occurs? It's in the soul's sphere of action. Remember, I am getting angry. Where is the anger? Did the anger occur in the phone, in the body, in the sweater, in the glassy? No. The mode, the altered mode of the anger mode occurred in the soul. So right now we still remain in the soul's sphere of action. So inclination of attachment getting illuminated in the knowledge mode.
Say that again, because I just thought raga and dvesha are not part of the soul. So
yes.
We're saying the altered mode, because it's an impure altered mode, that's why it's happening, because only a pure doesn't have it. Correct?
Remember, perspective. Okay. Here, right now, we are talking Vyavarne. Vyavarne means conventional point of view. Conventional point of view means we are talking modal point of view. We are giving importance to the mode. Even though rag and dvesh does not occur within the soul, but they do occur in the soul's mode. This abscess does not belong to my body, but it is part of my body right now. Because now the surgeon is going to put the cut, I'm going to scream because it is part of my body. Same way, inclusive of attachment is a mode, and mode is occurring into the soul's mode, and that's why the inclusive attachment also belongs to soul from that perspective. So inclusive attachment is now seen from two ways. When I'm talking about soul's total sphere of action, then the inclusion of the rag occurred, dvesh occurred into my mode. Into my mode. It's an altered mode of a conduct attribute. So it occurred within me. Okay, when I'm talking from absolute point of view, from the substantial point of view, from eternal soul substance perspective point of view, then this rag and dvesh, they don't belong to me because they are to be taken out. They are my altered state. They are to be thrown out. So rag and dvesh are taking a very unique place in this scenario, that from eternal soul's perspective, when I look at it, rag, dvesh don't belong to me. But from overall soul's function point of view, when I'm looking at it, then rag, dvesh occurs within me. Abscess is not me because it should be thrown out. But still, abscess is part of my body. When surgeon puts the knife, it's going to hurt me. So have that point extremely clear in your mind, that right now we are talking Vyavarne. We are not talking Nishchayne. We are not talking absolute point of view. We are talking only from the Vyavarne, means we are talking modal point of view. And the mode of the rag dvesh occurs within me, within soul. And that's why this rag and dvesh getting illuminated in the knowledge mode. Look at the previous picture. This rag and dvesh illuminated in the knowledge mode here. So this is me right now because it is occurring in a sphere of the soul. It is occurring in the soul sphere. So that's why here, this IOA, this rag occurred within me. The illumination of the rag. Remember, rag is outside. Illumination of the rag occurred within me. Illumination. So here we are talking, the rag is illuminated in the knowledge mode. Now, this rag is of two forms: coarser form and finer form. Coarser form means the thing which I can pick it up. I'm angry. Well, I picked up that I'm angry right now. But certain phenomenon, certain rag occurs within me that even I don't know that that belongs to me. So it's the so subtle form of the rag. So subtle form of rag, and my knowledge mode is not that sharp right now that it is not picking up that finer form for the finer form of a rag. It only picks up the coarser form of rag. So rag is two forms: coarse and fine. Finer point is I'm not able to pick it up. Coarser form I'm able to perceive. So finer form is not able to get perceived because my knowledge mode has limitation. My knowledge mode is not fully blown right now. It's not fully blossomed out. It is partially pure right now. So this rag is of two types. What are those two types? Coarser form of rag and finer form of rag. The scripture gives two names there. Buddhipurvak rag and abuddhipurvak rag. Buddhipurvak means intellect, the knowledge, the intellect that I'm having it with my knowledge mode, that I'm able to perceive that coarser form of rag. But my knowledge mode is kind of not fully blossomed out. So finer form of rag, I'm not able to catch it up right now. So two forms of rag occurs. They are coarse and fine form. Okay, so what is happening here? Inclines of attachment getting illuminated in the knowledge mode. Let's come back to this one. Inclines of attachment, here it is an object getting illuminated in the knowledge mode. So here we are giving importance to this guy here right now. We are giving we are giving importance to this guy here, that this guy is getting illuminated in the knowledge mode. So that guy is getting illuminated in knowledge mode. Two types, coarser form and finer form. Now hang on tight, because this is really getting very compact, because inclines of attachment is an object, outside object, to be taken out, to be thrown out, and that's why it is called asad buddh. Asad buddh means impure synthetic. The upcharit means coarser form of rag, and anupcharit is finer form of rag, which my intellect is not able to pick it up right now. So this is called asad buddh, upcharit, and anupcharit nahi. Remember in the previous, the very first slide what we started with, we said asad buddh, upcharit means house, money, car, family, everything is asad buddh, upcharit. And asad buddh, anupcharit was me as a body, and me, body is mine, that was asad buddh, anupcharit. Here those things are way away, thrown out. Only rag which occurs within me, rag got illuminated in my knowledge mode. Two forms, coarser form and finer form. So asad buddh, upcharit and anupcharit. Having said that, now we are going to take turn around and talk something different. What we are going to talk different? Remember, what did we see here? Let me just take some of the things out here and show. What did we say here? To start with, knowledge, the soul has a sphere of action, and in that sphere of action, by itself, knowledge mode end up creating illumination of the peacock by itself. Same way, knowledge mode ends up creating illumination of inclines of attachment in the mode. So this this rag is occurring independent in the sphere of the soul, while this guy is simply acting as an outside instrumental cause. So primary action occurred over here. Knowledge mode says, hey, I did the business. I did the knowing action. So here now, to start with, rag was getting illuminated in knowledge mode, means rag is present and is getting illuminated. I am present and I'm seeing my illumination in the mirror. So rag is present and rag is getting illuminated in the knowledge mode, coarser form and finer form, and that's why it is asad buddh, upcharit and anupcharit. Here, now, here between these two red bullets, This was increase of attachment getting illuminated in the knowledge mode. And over here it says, knowledge mode knows rag by itself. Because this knowledge mode has an alien illumination property by itself. So over here, we presume that because rag is present, it is getting known. Over here, knowledge mode says, you know what? It is my business. Nobody has asked me to do anything. I created everything myself. So knowledge mode knows rag by itself because of its alien illumination property, and that's called Sadbut Upcharit Vyavarne. And knowledge mode also knows the soul substance because it's self-illumination property. Knowledge mode has two important property. Knowledge mode is a property of knowing self and knowing alien object. Knowing self, knowing alien object independently. Knowledge mode knows self and knows the alien object independently because of its own knowing capacity. So here, when it's an alien illumination property, then it end up knowing the rag. When it's a self-illumination property, then it end up knowing the eternal soul substance. And that is called Sadbut Anupchari. That's why I told you it's going to be really, we have to really have a seat belts to be tightened because it's a rough ride right now. But it's okay. We are going to make it. Remember, originally when we started, very first slide, we said Asadbud Upcharit and Anupcharit means things belong, things they are not mine, but I put my ownership on them. Car is mine, house is mine, family is mine, money is mine. That is Asadbud Upcharit. Then I said, body is mine, senses are mine, all those things are Asadbud Anupcharit. Over here we had said, Sadbud Upcharit, rag is mine, Sadbud Upcharit. And soul, I am the soul, knowledge is soul, that's a Sadbud Anupcharit. That was way in the past we were discussing those things. Now we are coming into the sphere of the soul, and now I want to establish all these four Vyavarna within this boundary of the soul and talk about it. And that's why we started with a rag getting known. Rag getting known. Alien objects getting known. Coarser form and finer form. So that is first two nice. And then knowledge mode says, wait a second, I have capacity of alien illumination and self-illumination. When I have alien illumination property, means I end up knowing Ra. So over here, these two guys are fighting. This guy, but Ra says, because of me you knew it, and knowledge mode says, no, because of my alien illumination property, that's why I knew you. Over here, the dog is saying that the blood is coming from the bone. And over here, no, that blood taste belongs to me and it's coming from me only. I'm tasting my own blood. So over here, knowledge mode has a self-illumination property. That's why it knows the eternal soul substance. So it's a Sadbud Anupchari. So here, this is the crux of the whole 11th stanza. It tells us you cannot get out of the boundary of the soul. Whatever you want to do, you have to do all the actions by staying into the boundary of the soul and doing. Remember, knowledge mode ends up knowing soul substance. I mean, that's what we are talking since last year and a half, that I have to know my eternal soul substance. I have to know my eternal soul substance. Bring the attention to the eternal soul substance. Just know it and put the faith on it, then get engrossed on it. All those things, we keep on talking about it. And here Acharya Bhagavan takes turn and says, you know what? Knowledge mode knows the soul substance, and that itself I'm also calling Vyavarnai. And when there is Vyavarnai, you will not get the experiencing. Only the time you get experience is by absolute point of view. Nishchay means eternal soul substance. That's all I have to think about. All these things become secondary. Even though they are present, they become secondary, and that's why they are called Vyavarnai, because they are modes. This is influence of attachment getting illuminated. Mode, knowledge mode, knowledge mode. So mode is anything that we are talking. Mode is called modal point of view, or it is called convention point of view. So these are the things that we really have to digest very well. And till we understand this, the depth of the knowledge so intensely, there won't be looking back. Because thereafter, anything Gurudev talks about, it becomes piece of cake for us. So, and I'm pretty sure right now, few questions are already in the mind. So if you want to throw the question, please do it, because we will be going. Okay, hold it before you go. Now, I'm going to put the same thing in the pictorial form in the next slide, okay? And then we will just take the questions. So again, same picture: soul substance, knowledge attribute, knowledge mode, and here is a knowledge mode in the form of a mirror. Now here only, now we are talking increase of attachment only here. Increase of attachment is known as object of knowledge. As it is produced due to mode, looking at, ignore these things. Rag is an object of knowledge. Means this is the knowledge mode. This knowledge mode is looking at this one. So when when rag is present over here, is getting illuminated in the knowledge mode. So in knowledge mode, now I'm getting the illumination of the rag. Remember, everything happens within the soul, but we are trying to indivisible soul substance. We are making division to have our brain accept all these things. So rag is occurring within me, but on the rag, I put it on a corner and say, hey rag, you are getting illuminated in my knowledge mode. So that's what happened here. Now, shape of the mode means gnanakar occur by itself. Means over here, it says that this illumination of object, this rag occurring is occurred because of the soul substance itself. This occurred by itself only. So this rag which is getting illuminated, look at the red arrow. Why red arrow occurred? Because rag is present. Rag is present, so rag is getting illuminated. That's what rag is taking, that kind of ownership right now. Rag says, because I'm here, that's why you're getting my illumination in the knowledge mode. So that rag could be coarser form or finer form of rag getting known. Known means this is the reason and this is the result. This is the reason and this is a result. That's what rag wants us to believe. Okay? Now knowledge more turns around and says, wait a second, rag, you can't make that kind of things to me, because I made this rag illumination because of my own capacity. If there was a stone over here, if there was a rock over here, if there's a wall over here, if there's a matter over here, cannot do the illumination, does not have alien objects illumination property. So I have the alien illumination property within me, and that's why you are getting known to me. Rag says, I am there, that's why you are knowing. And knowledge mode says, no, I have the alien object knowing capacity, that's why I know you. And so that's an alien illumination. Now, while these things are going on, this knowledge mode has two functions: alien illumination property and a self-illumination property. What does it going to illuminate? It's going to illuminate this soul substance over here. So this soul substance is getting illuminated because of my self-illumination property. So originally, Rag says, hey, you know what? I'm present, and that's why my coarser and finer form of Rag is getting known into the knowledge mode. Knowledge mode turns around and says, wait a second, no, 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 no. I have the alien illumination property. That's why I knew you. And I have a self-illumination property. That's why I knew the eternal soul substance. So now, उपचरित असद्भुत व्यवहार नहीं, अनुपचरित असद्भुत व्यवहार नहीं is this red arrow. उपचरित सद्भुत व्यवहार नहीं is this green arrow knowing the rag. And anupcharit sadbut vyavahar nahi is self-illumination. Does it make sense? It has to make sense. I know, I'm pretty sure that questions are coming. So now you can throw the question to me, because I want to make sure that this slide is getting done today. It needs lots of concentration. And I mean, you are really, really there to understand this part. That's very good. I'm so proud of you.
So,
yeah.
Kirit uncle, the green arrow.
Yeah.
I understand verbally what you're saying, but I think the arrow would be going the other way.
No, because I as a knowledge mode ends up knowing the alien illumination, and I as a knowledge mode end up knowing self-illumination. So yeah, you can put arrow wherever you like, but I mean, this is
what I'm saying is the green arrow should be in the same direction as the red arrow, right?
No. Remember, Rag says that I am getting known. Rag says, I am getting known in your knowledge mode. And knowledge mode says, no, I have alien illumination property. That's why I knew you. And self-illumination property, that's why I end up knowing the eternal soul substance. So this is the self-illumination, this is alien illumination, and that is my job.
Okay.
I know the whole universe, and I know myself.
Okay, I got you. Thank you.
So this picture again, we'll go through it, because this is really, really crux of the things. And once we understand this part, rest of the things, rest of the stanza is kind of relatively easy to catch on. Okay, if there is no question, then probably we may stop over here, unless you want to throw something more in. Yeah, next week onward, we'll be talking Upcharit Asadbut Vyavahar separately, Anupcharit Asadbut Vyavahar separately, Upcharit Sadbut Vyavahar, Anupcharit Sadbut Vyavahar. All those things in the pictorial way separately. We'll be seeing those things next week, next week onwards. All right, if there is no question, then shall we do the closing? I know it's a heavy dose today, but that's why I was telling, remember that I didn't want to push through this earlier discussion for several weeks, because at least we have pretty good feeling of it. And now we know what Acharya Bhagwan is coming from. Where is he coming from? What does he want to do? He doesn't want to get out of the soul's boundary at all. All 415 stanza means, Samaysar means remaining in the boundary of the soul only, and then find it out what's happening. So if we understand this figure probably somewhat better way, then whole thing, whole Samaysar is very easy to understand thereafter. All right, let's do the closing. जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालोक, सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देता हूँ लोक. No, but 9 times Namo Ka mantra. Namo Mitchayandukram. Thank you.
Nityamidukam. See you next week.
Next week, okay. Bye.
All right, bye.